Good afternoon. Good afternoon, one and all. How are you doing today? It's actually a very nice day here. Hold on, let me do a time check here. Okay, 3 minutes till showtime. I warned ahead of time. The sun is so bright. I can scarcely see my screen on my phone. So, um, it's supposed to get cloudy. See, Mm. This is like being in the proverbial um uh oh gosh, how do you say it? I don't know, uh like nowhere to go. You're darned if you do and darned if you don't. It's nice with the sun out, it's dry, beautiful breeze, da 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 da, but as I said, it's so bright I can't see. So the other alternative then is it's supposed to be cloudy today, but it's supposed to be cloudy with showers. So, can I find a way to be under cloudy skies away from the sun and not get wet? That's going to be the question of the hour, I do believe. All right, check time again, please. Oh, okay. Whole minute went by since the last time I looked. I feel like a kid. When we gonna be there? When we gonna be there? Are we there yet? We're here though. We are here in Charm City. A beautiful spring day. Looking at some dogs frolicking down by the volleyball courts. They have really nice volleyball courts. They have some interesting volleyball games here as well. I think there are different organizations here in the city that have teams and they come out and play. They got the sand and the nets. They have everything but the ocean. But they do have the harbor. I guess that's got to count for something. Who will? That's interesting. I see people skating in the skate park. It's supposed to be for skateboards, right? However, I guess if you have roller skates on, it's the same thing. If you're practicing and trying to master your skills. So. Anyway, well, we can go ahead and get started here in a sec. I just need to do one more little thing, and that is to get a sip of water before I start moving around. Mm, beautiful. Hopefully, it's like this all the way now. No more ice or snow. Okay, so, whoops, come on, Gimel. Don't do me bad. All right, so I am standing looking into the sun, and I can't hardly see my screen, but I want you to see what's behind me, you see. So that's the reason for myself at this little perch. I'm going to get ready to turn the camera around in just a minute. But before we get started, first I wanted to say hello. My name is Sharon Schultz, also known as the Bay Lady, and I live in Baltimore, near Baltimore City, in the beautiful Chesapeake Bay region of Maryland. Um, so many nice places here, so many things to see and do. I love road trips, so here I am on one for you. This is the first time I'm doing the Charm City tour this way, this starting point and then a different ending point. So you guys are along with me for the inaugural walk here. Let's see. Oh, Bonnie Lynn's there. Who else? And hello. I'm starting to see text flashing up here. Cool. Maybe, well, I was going to say when I get somewhere in the shade, I'll be able to read them, but That's not likely because there isn't any shade. Anywho, so I'm the Bay Lady. You can find me on YouTube, the Bay Lady. You can find me on Facebook, the Bay Lady, and same for X. Also, togethervirtually.com is a virtual tour guide platform where it's a association of a bunch of your favorite tour guides. And we're all on the same platform, joined together, and you can find you can find me there as the day lady. You can see all my tours that are listed with the link. It's really easy, and it's really a great thing. It was almost a good year in coming, but now we've got it and it works well. So don't forget togethervirtually.com. Also, my tours are all tip based. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, you can support me at buymeacoffee.com. Again, I'm there as the day lady. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to give you your first view of the money shot. If you are into taking screenshots, get ready. Okay, let's see. I need settings. I can't see. This is terrible. I'm somewhat blind too, so that kind of doesn't help, does it? Settings. Camera. We're getting there. Okay. Needs to be there. Okay. There you have it. Check it out. Check it out. Gorgeous, gorgeous day at the Inner Harbor. Let me start over here and let me start back here and give you the panoramic virtual tour. You're looking at Federal Hill, the flag flying. Has the same number of stars on it as it did during the War of 1812, when Fort Federal Hill up there was really instrumental in backing up Fort McHenry with artillery fire to keep driving the British ships off, and eventually they did. This is the community back here. It goes up for several blocks and around the other side of the hill. But this is the Federal Hill community, one of the most desirable places to live in the city. The homes are stately, old, classic, redone, renovated. They're beautiful. They go for more than $1 million, these old row houses that once upon a time you could have bought for $15,000. And that would have been brand new. Okay, next we have the volleyball court. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yes, indeed. Woo-hoo. The volleyball court. No games today, apparently. So, and at the end of the court down there, you might see it, the mast of a ship kind of sticking up there. Well, that is the Pride of Baltimore, from the Pride of Baltimore. And that's where this tour will end. So I'll save that story for later. Okay, so now we're looking across the harbor. You can see all the way over to Pier 6. You can see the aquariums, the World Trade Center, Harbor Place. And down here is a recreation center for the kids. It's built by the electric company, very nice of them. Dead ahead, that tall silver and black building, that's one of the newer skyscrapers that's been built in this section of downtown. It has commercial, residential, and business space in there. So it's a multi-use district. Now that's just one building. There will be more, but more about that later. Looking over here at these tall buildings, they are all new as well, some still under construction. That's part of a brand new neighborhood called Harbor East. We have Inner Harbor and we have Harbor East. So let us go ahead and take a walk now. And I'll show you the sights and see what's going on here. There's a lot. I'm curious. Today is Tuesday. The spring break is over. It's only lunchtime, 1 o'clock. So I'm wondering where all these young people came from. Expect to see so many here at the skate park. It's not unusual to see a lot of kids down here over at the Science Center. The Science Center is what we're staring at right now, that big brown brick building that we're headed over to. Okay, fire truck. Isn't this a pretty tree? Spring has sprung in Baltimore. Look at that. Oh, nice. Hmm, so pretty. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And so it is. Oh, look, here's a shady spot. Let me see if I can see. Come on. Oh, look at that. Okay, so what's we got going on here? And now I can see you guys. There's Sarah and Judy. Hey, ladies. Hey, Ann, Ronnie. Hey, hey. Glad you guys have joined me. Okay. Oh, now what happened there? I didn't want that. Okay. So here we are. Isn't that a lovely thing? That perch up there where we were taking the shot of Baltimore. I call it the Titanic. See how it sticks up on top of the building like the Titanic would? So I call it Titanic. When I do my in-person tours, that's where I end up there. And I always tell them to, here comes the Titanic. Check it out. So this is this playground was put together by the big and powerful Baltimore Gas and Electric Company, BGE otherwise known. And it's different areas for the kids to play, to exercise, to test their skills, um, improve their balance, just all kinds of things. It's all been designed to benefit something. So, and the skate park is right there. See for skateboarders, it's Jake's Skate Park, which is really fortunate that they did that because otherwise, the skateboarders would be like all over this promenade we're about to enter. You know, that can be a bit risky sometimes, for sure. Okay, so we're leaving Rashfield and heading on to the promenade. This promenade goes on and on and on and on. It's about 5 miles now. It goes over to Harbor East. And eventually, when it's finished, it will go down to Fells Point in Canton, I believe. And they said the finished product, the finished promenade, would be 8 miles. Right. So 8 miles of waterfront, scenic views, new buildings, gardens, parks, just everything that you could want, everything that you could imagine. This is the Maryland Science Center. It was this is one of the anchors of Harbor Place. It was here from the beginning and has remained a very popular experience. As I was saying earlier, kids from the schools come by the busload. You know, this makes an awesome day trip. They are this particular museum, the Science Center. They are known for their extensive dinosaur collection. They have massive dinosaur models for real, and most of them are housed right in this area in front of you. Inside there, so now we're coming around the promenade. You can see the marina, all the ships. So realize there aren't as many as there could be because the harbor is not fully open yet. You will recall, I'm sure you've heard about the Harbor Bridge disaster that we had. And it kind of, oh, look at this poor duck in this muck. Oh, look at his muddy beak. Oh, no, 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 no. They're not supposed to have this muck in here. Where did this come from? Look at that poor duck. Does he have ears sticking out? What the hell? Ducks don't have ears. Oh, okay. Clean your nose off then. Look at all the trash in there. Mr. Trash Wheel and his family must be on spring break because they haven't been over here clearing waters at all. Oh, that's embarrassing. Seriously. Seriously. Okay, what is there? We go straighten out there, Gimbal. We also have a few sightseeing boats that will take you out and about to Fort McHenry and such. They're not right now. The boats aren't moving yet. We are. They're working diligently to open shipping lanes so that the commercial boats can get in and out. Baltimore is the biggest receiver of cars, okay, that come in containers. They come by sea. The containers, we have the biggest, we take more cars than anybody else. That and farm equipment. A lot of farm equipment comes through here. So a lot of people depend on the port, working at the port and such. So that's their priority to get that moving. Then eventually it'll open to recreational vehicles. But right now, recreational vehicles are restricted. I can't get, it's so close. There's one of the bigger cruise ships coming up. This is a nice little park over here. You find a lot of sitting areas along the promenade. You know, so you can, stop, rest, take a load off, whatever. They have, these colorful little tables with umbrellas and such. And it's in the center here. There's fountains. They're not activated at the moment, but they're definitely on in the summertime. Okay, so each one, each one of these discs, drains, I don't know what they are, but each one is a fountain and they all shoot straight up. Okay. So this whole area ends up being like a splash zone for, the kids and such. They love it on a hot summer's day. You know, oh, let's go to the harbor. Let's go get wet. Yeah. So I'm sure it is a wondrous thing for the parents, no doubt. Over here is the visitor center. They have a lot of good information and all. Good to know stuff. It's really a lot busier down here on the weekends than it is right now. I can pretty much guarantee you. There's more pretty flowers. Let's see. My adjustment is not adjusting very well. There we go. Okie dokie, puppy. Oh, notice, I don't know if you noticed earlier, I'm not wearing a jacket. Oh my gosh, this is the first day that I've been brave enough. I felt it was warm enough not to have to wear one. That's the aquarium that you're looking at right there. Our aquarium is ginormous. That's all aquarium. What is there? One, two, three buildings with glass pyramids, right? One, two, three. That's the aquarium. Awesome. It's a big place. It will definitely be a day's excursion. And then again, a number of schools and such will come to the aquarium. So, again, another area where the kids tend to come by the busload. Now we're coming up on Harbor Place. Harbor Place was a very um, avant-garde shopping idea. It consisted of open space markets indoors. That was like not heard of yet. This happened in 1980 when these buildings were constructed. Now, right ahead of you, we're looking at the Harbor Place Pratt Street Pavilion. And has shops downstairs, but upstairs it was like an open concept. It was market, and it had food stalls, and I mean stalls. It was like counters and things that you went up to, and then in the center area there was a community like seating area, tables and chairs and such, so you could, get whatever you wanted to eat from whatever vendor stall and then take it into the open area and sit. They also had outdoor seating on the balconies and stuff. So that was a very new concept at the time. And they built not one but two buildings. And they were very, very popular and became well known tourist areas. Now, this all happened because of this dude right here. Okay. This is William Donald Schaefer. Okay. They called him affectionately Willie Don. Willie Don. And he did great things for Baltimore, including bringing Harbor Place here. This was his baby. Anyway, he started off serving the city of Baltimore uh, a century, almost a century ago, three-quarters of a century ago, 1955, when he joined the city council. He held his councilman's position until 1971, when he ran for mayor of Baltimore and had quite a few couple terms there, at least two. He was there from 1971 to 1987. Now, Harbor Place came about in 1980. Okay, so while he was mayor of Baltimore, he's credited with bringing this innovative tourist area to the city, and bringing, revenue coming in, people spending money here, and that type of thing. And the Science Center was part of that package. The Science Center on one end, and then the aquarium on the other. So these two have been here since the beginning. Now, as for Willie Don, after he accomplished this, he moved on for 2 terms as the governor of Maryland, the governor of this fine state. And then he still wasn't done. When he couldn't be governor anymore in 1999, oops, what are you doing? In 1999, he took the job of comptroller of the treasury. And that means that he was given the responsibility of handling the state of Maryland's finances, which was a biggie. And so he held that position until 2007, at which time he retired. He stayed active, as far as being aware, and supporting things that, he felt he could. But eventually, he retired. He's been passed away for quite a few years now, but he's long remembered. There he stands. Okay, so let's continue around the promenade. There's a few people walking around down here, but it's definitely more crowded on the weekend. But I kind of don't like crowds a lot, so I'm good with this. Oh, there's some pretty little flowers. Springtime. Yeah, those are pretty, colorful. Hmm. Those are two-tone. That's interesting. Purple and gold. Hmm. Mhm. So who we got here? Oh, let's see. We got Cheryl. Hello. Hey, Cherry. Hey, everybody. I'm glad you all are along for this little ride. Oh, what do they have going on over here? Some music. These pavilions are pretty much closed, by the way. Uh, you don't see a lot of people coming in and out. That is because they are eventually going to be torn down. I don't know what he's doing, but okay. Um, anyway, back to these buildings. Okay, there's a couple of shops in here, not many. When they were originally brought about, the stores that were given leases here, many of them, the majority of them, were local entrepreneurs. That was the thing. It was going to be local. It was going to draw people in because there would be unusual things that you couldn't get elsewhere, right there made in Baltimore. And of course, remember, in 1980, we didn't have Amazon. So you actually had to go look. You couldn't buy online. Although there was the Sears catalog, J.C. Penney's catalog, what have you. There's some sports paraphernalia there. Um, Ravens and Orioles, those are our teams here in Baltimore. This area here, they use for different things. If there's festivals, or sometimes they'll have concerts downtown and such. Over the Christmas holidays, they had an ice skating rink up there, which was really nice. It was definitely, well used. There's another shop neighborhood. Sometimes when they do have concerts down here, they'll set the stage right there because you have this amphitheater here with built-in seats that you could sit and watch whatever was happening. And this is the second pavilion. This is the let's see. This is the Pratt Street Pavilion, and that one is the Light Street Pavilion. Light Street runs behind the pavilion up into Federal Hill, and Pratt Street runs out towards Bells Point. This is the Constellation, the USS Constellation. It's a warship. It let's see what else. It's a warship. It was built, I want to say, 1853, 9. I'm horrible with years, but it was built in 1850 something and actually stayed on the water and was in service almost 100 years until the 1950s. So it got around. It was the last, it was the last ship, the last warship that was built without any electronic navigation equipment. Okay, this is like the last old fashioned, use the wind kind of sailing vessel. But yeah, the warship. Now they use it for, of course, tourists. You can get tickets and go aboard, and it is laid out like it would have been in the 1800s. Also, it's what's called a living classroom, where students and different groups and organizations can come and take a look. Just more of Harbor Place. Pratt Street Pavilion. I'm sorry about that. I dropped on my watcher. I need a drink. There's another. There's another little shop. Life in Charm City. I love the little local stores. Anyway, they started falling on hard times. The economy wasn't all that great when um when COVID-19 made its appearance. And it was especially harsh for these guys here, the individual entrepreneurs, because as like when COVID came, everything had to shut down. And these little shops, they didn't have any corporate backing, They weren't like, Starbucks where they could, do drive through and or what have you. These guys lost it. They lost what they had basically. And when COVID was over, by that time they were having issues with the management company who wasn't maintaining the properties as they were supposed to be maintained. Anyway, the city stepped in and they own it now. They own both buildings, both pavilions, and they're scheduled for demolition. They're going to take them down and they are going to build some spectacular new high rise buildings. The artist's conception is, it looks like it would go with the area. It kind of reminds you of the glass pyramids over there. But they're going to totally redo it. And again, it's going to become a multi purpose district where what they build will be commercial, residential, and business opportunities. And that tall building right there that I showed you initially, the newest skyscraper on this side of the harbor. When they're finished, there'll be two equally as tall buildings to the right of it, connected with an aerial bridge, a skywalk. Oh, hey, what are you doing there? Turn me around. You go back. Hey, uh-oh. Please don't mess with me. There we go. Mm. Welcome to the world of Chessie. Do you know we have a sea monster, right? Chessie? Chessie? Miss Chesapeake? Chessie the sea dragon? She's supposedly out there in that harbor. But here's all her little offsprings. Paddle boats, right? Cute. It's really neat to see them in the summertime. To see all these little dragons, right, bobbing up and down here out in the harbor. How cute! Um, we do have a restaurant that's still open here. Cheesecake Factory, good place if anybody's ever been. Okay, hold up here for a sec. Put the lid back on my water. Okay. What you're looking at is the World Trade Center. This was built in 1977. Woo, look at that. It's like 27 floors tall. It has a special claim to fame. It is the tallest five-sided octagon shaped building in the world. The tallest five-sided building in the world. Pretty cool. That's our World Trade Center. In the lobby, it has the flags from all the different countries that are represented here. Also, the top of the building, see if I can do this. The top of the building. Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know. Awesome. Okay, do that. Oh, thank you. Oh, cool. Thank you. Oh, wow, look at them. Got it. Okay. I'll just stay on the carpet. Oh, nice. A lot of people work here. Look at that. Wow, I don't even know how many there are. Look at that. Oh, yeah. So this elevator right here will take you up top. There's an observation deck. Oh, look at this. There's a observation deck that is absolutely gorgeous. You can see like the whole of Baltimore, like 360 all the way around. It's spectacular. Also up there, they have the what was I going to say? Oh, they have a special memorial up there. One whole side of the five sides is devoted to the World Trade Center in New York, 9/11. Because, of course, this World Trade Center, all the World Trade Centers work together with that. So, also, we have several memorials outside here. This is a piece of twisted steel from the World Trade Center in New York City. It was one of the steel girders. And then here they have a timeline carved into this um, base, metal base. It says 846 North Tower strike. Oh, 930 South. Oh, sorry, 903 South Tower. 937 Pentagon. 959 South Tower falls. 1003 Flight 93 strikes. 1015 the Pentagon wall falls. 1028 North Tower falls. That was such an incredible day. And these are the names of all the people from Baltimore that were lost in the World Trade Center in New York. Apparently, there was a lot of commuting back and forth and such. Um, Same thing held true for the Pentagon. There are a lot of people that lived in Baltimore that lived in Baltimore and worked at the Pentagon in Washington. It by like high speed train, it's not all that difficult to commute. Now here ahead of us are three more 9/11 memorials. This one is, speaking of the Pentagon, this is the limestone blocks that used to be part of the Pentagon it um, before it came down. It's actual concrete, three, three of them. Yay, cheesecake, I know. 1854, thank you, Cheryl. The Constellation, built in 1854. And I think that it was in the water until 1959, so a little over 100 years then. This is symbolic, so symbolic. This is for Flight 93, which crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And three slabs of marble, they're empty, empty, like the lives of the people on that plane. And this kind of explains, the memorial. Together we remember September 11th. Steel from the Trade Center, limestone from the Pentagon remind us that we were transformed that day. Polished black granite reflects the heroism of the passengers and the crew of Flight 93, and so on. Oh, this is interesting. Each September 11th, check this out, the shadow of the Baltimore's World Trade Center, this one right here, aligns with the marks engraved in the stone, denoting the timeline of that morning's event. Those markers that we saw over there under the twisted steel, right? Okay, the timeline, the shadow falls on it on September 11th. Boy, I don't know. I'd say I'd have to do that, but something tells me that requires getting up really early in the morning. So, okay, we're about to walk by the sculpture park here, and it has various things that represent Baltimore, basically, like um, this little pagoda thing tells us that Baltimore has many diverse ethnic areas that that contribute to the diversity of the city. We're looking at steel girders. Baltimore back in the day was very famous for Bethlehem steel, for producing steel, for making the girders like the ones that were twisted on 9/11. Okay, they made those. Behind it on the ground, there's a big, you probably can't see it, but there's a big ship's propeller, and that pays homage to the shipbuilding industry that we used to have here. So here's some more paddle boats. These are kind of cute. These are the pirate ships. We have a ship out there, a pirate ship that for hire. That it like it takes passengers and takes the kids out running around in the harbor, and then they get attacked by pirates. And very cute, very cute. Hmm. Okay, these are Baltimore's got some historic ships like the Constellation. These ships can be boarded and toured by the public, and they're also part of the living classroom deal where they're used for educational instruction as well. This one is the Chesapeake. The Chesapeake is a what's called a light ship. And hold on, I'll get over here where you can see it better. Haha. Yay, shade. Okay, I can see. You're right. Oh my gosh. You were watching it too. I was stuck at work. I was at work when it happened, and everybody kept taking turns running down to the lobby where they had a television with CNN on it, and we were getting bits and pieces and snatches of information that way. So, okay, this is a light ship called the Chesapeake. Now, up there, that tall tower right there off the ship, that is a light like you would find on a lighthouse. Okay. In fact, for years, its job was to sit out by the lighthouse and guard it, basically, like to make sure that no other ships ran into the lighthouse or what have you, especially like in foggy weather and such. So that was a pretty interesting thing. It sat at the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay for about 30 years. So just providing a safe harbor. Up here is what's called the Torsk. It is a survivor of World War II. It was one of our subs that saw battle. Again, part of the living classroom series, as you can see. That's its permanent home. In fact, all the ships, this is their permanent home. So now we're in front of the aquarium, one of the buildings. This is one huge attraction, I can tell you that. Huge. I wonder if there's school today. I think I mentioned that before because I don't see any school buses. There's a lot of kids, but they're not unsupervised. I guess they're families or whatever. I do suppose. Here are some interesting places. The power plant, for one. Oh, the first, okay. There you can see part of the aquarium. You look all the way towards the top. That is a tropical forest. That was what made this aquarium so successful and so popular. The tropical forest had never been done, in that setting before. It is has all the plants that you expect to see, water features, birds, what have you. Even the humidity, it's very, very intense, like it would be in a tropical rainforest. So that was his claim to fame. It was so successful that they built a second aquarium right there, which you're looking at, and it has a covered uh, hallway there that connects the two buildings. Okay, the power plant. It one time it survived. It supplied all of the power towards Baltimore from 1900 on. Um, it hasn't been a power plant for a very long time, however. As you can see, the building to my right is the Hard Rock Cafe. Um, Nice restaurant, good food, all's well. Then on the other side of the main area of the power plant is Phillips Seafood Restaurant. Very good, excellent, family owned. So it's all good. In the center, I don't know what's going on. There doesn't appear to be any commercial tenants in there at the moment. At one time, not just a couple of years ago, Barnes and Noble had their home there. Barnes and Noble had financial difficulties eventually, and so they moved out. But when they were there, oh my goodness, that was like the neatest building. If you can imagine, you see all those balconies, right, and the tall, structure and all those windows. Um, Barnes and Noble, they had bookshelves from floor to ceiling on every one of those floors. There were books and books and books. There were different reading nooks and areas where you could sit and relax and, whatever. They had several coffee shops. Uh, Starbucks was in there, my favorite. And so it was a really, really nice experience. It gave a nice aura. So, but going now. Okay. So we're going to cross this little bridge. Oh, let me go over here for a second. Something interesting to show you. Something else interesting to show you. Um, Baltimore has always been very sincere and innovative when it comes to cleaning up the harbor and making it more fit for humans and wildlife as well. So there right now they're harvesting a bunch of oyster shells. They make a nice bed. If you can see them all down there, a nice bottom, and they're making living gardens as well. That's what all this is going to be transformed into. Floating wetland is what it is. And it's providing oxygen to the water. I think that's one of the big things. Oh, there's a duck laying in here. Oh, look. I think it's a nesting duck. That looks like a nest. Look at that. How lovely. And the air bubbling, it puts oxygen into the water and lets people grow. So this is what is in front of us now, this picture here. Okay. And that's what it's going to look like when it's done. Let's go take a closer look. Anything for the environment, got to preserve it. Definitely. Okay. Oh, that little pavilion right there. That's outdoor seating for the Hard Rock Cafe. And then this one right here is also outdoor seating for Dots, which is a seafood restaurant right behind it. The outdoor seating, and Phillips has it too down there. This was introduced during COVID. Remember, they couldn't they couldn't open the restaurants. So they had to maintain, safe distance and all of those things. And so these restaurants here are city, they no room for drive-through or drive-ins or anything like that. So they came up with the outdoor seating. That way everybody could, stay safely away from each other and out in the fresh air and all that good stuff. And the current mayor allowed them to keep the outdoor pavilions. He signed off on it last year or the year before, I think. Um, because everybody took such a heavy hit during COVID. Some are still trying to recover, so this helps, and that's great. Okay, so here's the floating wetlands that's still under construction. That's interesting, really, how they do that. Is it moving, or do I just feel like it's moving? And these are some other things here. This is a new building, not to be confused with that 100-plus-year-old power plant. This building is fairly new. The Baltimore Banner, that's Baltimore's new digital paper. It just swallowed up all the the print newspapers, feeling that paper, smelling that ink. Bye bye. Thing of the past, unfortunately. So there's the ramp that goes from the first aquarium straight through to the second. We have a nice little area back here also. Nice little picnic area, like the they have a fountain too that doesn't look to be turned on there. And there's the lovely Coast Guard, but Pier 5 Hotel. Oh, that is a Coast Guard cutter. That is it is a survivor of Pearl Harbor. That's what it is. It survived Pearl Harbor. So that's like a 1945-ish kind of thing, I guess, right? Nice big ship. And again, that's part of the Living Classroom program as well. Now, all of the ships that you saw, the Constellation, this Coast Guard cutter, the Constellation, Coast Guard cutter, oh gosh, I can't think of what else. Um, oh yeah, the submarine and the lightship. Okay, they those are part of the Living Classroom program, and they're also open, to the public as, museum type things. So you can, the cost, there is an admission. You can, you can, um, oops, sorry, got distracted there. You can visit them separately, pay an admission at each place, or in the office by the Constellation. You can get a package deal for all of the ships to be able to board and explore. This is a very nice restaurant, Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Very, very nice place. Very expensive too. Pricey, pricey. Totally pricey. Down at the end of the street in front of you is where Little Italy is. We have a really nice Little Italy. It has some wonderful, wonderful Italian restaurants. Absolutely incredible Italian restaurants. That tent-looking structure there on the pier, that is the Pier 6 Pavilion. Imagine summertime uh, and sitting out on the dock listening to a band or somebody that you're familiar with, right? How cool. Really a nice, nice concert venue. hmm And let's see, ahead there is a lighthouse. That was the lighthouse that the lightship protected. The lighthouse um, has been moved. In it was like out in the bay, but then they moved it and they put it as its permanent home here. And again, it's part of the situation, part of the group. You can go in it, you can explore it. It's also used for education, and it's also included on the package deal with the ships. So, okay, so here's where the sea part comes in. Let's see. We need the harbor connector. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, so the harbor connector is right here. This is what we want. The harbor connector to Federal Hill, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8, departs every 15 minutes. Okay, well, it should be here. Let's see, what else can I show you while we wait? All kinds of things, right? There, it should be over there, actually. Okay, so that big multi-level building is a residential building, and it marks the opening to Little Italy. Nice community, old community, lots of good food and pastries. Absolutely. That crazy looking building ahead there, that's the Public Works Museum. Don't know a lot about it except it really stands out against that ultra modern hotel condo building behind it. And those are a couple of the hotels of that new Harbor East area. Is that, no, that's not a water taxi, is it? I don't think so. The water taxi should be coming, oh, there it is. I was going to say it should be coming from Federal Hill. Here it comes. How cool is that? You're gonna get a boat ride. I hope anyway. There's two boats, two kinds of boats. I wonder if this is the one I'm looking for. The um, percolator. Well, he's coming anyway. You can see across the harbor. What a beautiful day. It's a nice restaurant. It's McCormick and Schmidt's. McCormick spices are made here in Baltimore County. Actually, they used to be made downtown, but they moved out to the county. They were growing and needed to expand. But yeah, that's McCormick spice uh, thing. Here comes the taxi. Now, I will tell you, this is a first. I haven't ridden a taxi before. Oh, bye, Judy. You have to catch up later. Definitely. Look at this. Oh boy. Here it comes. I don't think this is the free one. I think this is the one you got to pay for. But at this point, I want this ride back to Federal Hill. I won't have to walk it. So we'll see what we have to see. Look at all these people.
That's a high font.
Yeah. So is this the circulator? Yeah. The Trump City circulator? Cool. Okay. Come on board. Please. Welcome aboard. Ooh, that's a pretty big stuff, isn't it? Got it. Okay. We are aboard. Look at that. I know, isn't the promenade cool? It really is. It's very cool. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, this is perfect because that way I don't have to walk back. And I would end it here because walking back, you would see the same things that you saw walking over here. So this ends up good because it takes me closer to where I left my car. I don't have to walk. It's pretty neat. It's the longest one you've ever seen. Yeah, the promenade right now, I hear that it's like about 5 miles long. Because we didn't even start at the beginning of it. Actually, where the water taxi is going to take us is the beginning of the promenade. I'll show you when we get over there. But then it's supposed to continue. See, it goes all over there and runs down along the shore all the way to Fells Point, which is a really popular Baltimore area like Federal Hill. A lot of people like living in Fells Point. It's a different, well, no, not really, I guess. It's a lot of commercial bars, a lot of bars and restaurants. It's like a party area. It's Fells Point's known for its nightlife. It has other things during the day too, things of historical value and such. But other than that, it's like whatever. So, yeah, they said when it's done, it'll be approximately 8 miles long. That's going to take a couple years. And see, the thing is that right now, all of that, the area that they're talking about going to Fells Point, is under construction. So they and keep in mind they still have to tear down those pavilions at Harbor Place, and that's a major part of the promenade as well. Okay, here we go. Boat ride. See, the promenade goes all the way down there. There's Domino's Sugar. Oh, wow, we're getting past this quickly. Oh, it's got the state flag on it. I wonder if it's the tour boat. Okay, so right there in front of those buildings, that is promenade also. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You too. Okay. Let's go ahead and walk around in front of this so you can see the harbor master's office is over here and the Rusty Scupper restaurant, which is a really excellent seafood restaurant. Wow, that was neat. I'm happy. I haven't done that before. First time I rode the water taxi. And look here, this is like a gas station for boats. Fuel stop, the fuel here. Mm. So see, there's where we were. We were over there, the concert pavilion, and we walked all the way from here. Harbor Master. Never been in there. Don't know if there's anything you go into though. I'm not quite sure what it is. Nice boats. Okay. Gee, what a nice day this ended up being. How about that? The rain held off. Yay. Hip, hip, hooray. Now, Federal Hill, up there where the flag is, Federal Hill, um, let's see, what can I say about it? It is, well, it was first discovered by Captain John Smith. He's the guy that found Jamestown, the explorer. So he found Jamestown and he was cruising, exploring the coast, and he found Chesapeake Bay. And he came in up the river. And at the time, Federal Hill was a big, huge hill of red clay. And it stood out. At least it did to Captain John Smith. He thought it was the coolest place in the world and what a great harbor it would be. And so it was. And over the years, the harbor grew and the shipping industry here in Baltimore grew. And the hill was part of it. From the hill, they could see out into the harbor. There weren't any skyscrapers or buildings there then. So they could see out in the harbor and they would see when a ship was coming into port. And then they would send word down to the docks to prepare for the ship that was coming in. So that was kind of a cool thing. Now it was called Fort Federal Hill at the time, but that is not how Federal Hill got its name. It was actually, well, there was a big, I don't know, party celebration. Baltimore had been doing well as a port city and it was thriving. And so the residents were going to have a big celebration and they were going to do it atop Federal Hill. And so they prepared and they had built a ship, a miniature ship. I mean, it was big, not miniature that would sit on a table, but a ship that people could get into, but not like a huge ship. So anyway, um, they built the ship and had it up top of the hill, and everybody had a wild and crazy time, and the ale was flowing, and eventually a lot of ale-laden people piled into that ship, rode it down the hill into the harbor, busted it to pieces. Interesting. So that's where the name Federal Hill came from. The name of the ship was the Federalist. So, okay, as promised, our last stop is at the Pride of Baltimore Memorial. Okay, so here's the story. May 14th, 1986, the Pride and her captain and three members of the crew were lost at sea. The Pride now rests at the end of a goodwill journey that covered 150,000 miles and touched 125 cities around the world. Yet her precious cargo, the spirit of the people who sent her forth and of those who received her, will never be lost. So we have a new Pride, the Pride of Baltimore, too, usually docked out at Fort McHenry. So, well, there you have it. Charm City at its finest. It did us good. Good weather. Yes. Yes. All right. I love it anyway. Well, now it is time for me to walk to my car and probably go get some lunch. Yeah, that sounds good. I think I'll do that. So everyone, thank you so much. Oh, hold on. Let me oh, no, hold on. Let me turn the camera around. No, I need shade. Ooh, here we go. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can see. Oh, there I am. All right. So, as I was saying, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Trying to think of what tours I have coming up, but I can't think of it right now. Anyway, check me out on Together virtually. That'll work. And don't forget, if you see your way clear, buy me a coffee. You know I love my coffee. Take care, everybody. Bye. Happy spring. Y'all are welcome. Come back again.